Jai Hind everyone. I am Vivek Kumar Pansari, Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In my previous videos related to IC engine, internal combustion engine, I discussed about the basic terminology of IC engine, components of IC engine, and in the last video I was discussing about the working of 4-stroke petrol and diesel engine. Here in this particular video, I would like to take the working of 2-stroke petrol engine and the basic comparison between the SI and CI engine and 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine. So that we can summarize the complete working of IC engine. So this is what the purpose of this video. So first of all, 2-stroke petrol engine. Okay, this is what the. So what does it mean? It means the piston will move stroke length twice. This is what the meaning of 2-stroke and the petrol engine. So obviously it will be working on Otto cycle and the ignition of fuel will occur through a spark plug. So spark ignition will be there. So here this is what written, performs 2-stroke to complete one working cycle. It means the expansion stroke or power stroke will be available in 2 movements of piston, and 2 movements means 2 movements of stroke length, okay, by this, and it is working theoretically on Otto cycle. So here we can see a 2-stroke engine. There is a difference between the construction in 2-stroke and 4-stroke that I will be coming in my next slide. So one by one we are coming to the parts of 2-stroke engine. Okay, so first is the cylinder. Okay, so that we can see the cylinder, and with one end fitted with cover end and other end with a sealed crankcase. So this is what the cylinder. Okay, then ports are provided. So the difference between 2-stroke and 4-stroke. First is, in 4-stroke engine we observe that there is a valve actuating mechanism which is operated or controlled by the cam arrangement, but here instead of valves, instead of a separate valve actuating mechanism, we are having ports, inlet port, outlet port and transfer port. So here is the inlet port, this is the outlet or exhaust port, and here is the transfer port we can see. Okay, this is the inlet, exhaust and transfer port, and the opening and closing of these ports are controlled by the motion of piston. Piston is reciprocating, piston is moving up and down, and by the position of piston the closing and opening of the ports are controlled. So ports are provided one below other on the circumference of the cylinder. Okay, lower one is the inlet port, upper one is the exhaust port. Transfer port is diametrically opposite. So here is the transfer port. Okay, what function does it perform? Obviously by the name it is clear, it transfers the mixture of air and petrol. Obviously the mixture of air petrol will be there because it is a petrol engine. So in carburetor the mixing of air and fuel occurs. So transfer port transfers the petrol air mixture from crankcase. So this is the crankcase. So from crankcase to the cylinder. So this is what the function of transfer port. A spark plug will be there. Yes, because it is a petrol engine working on Otto cycle, the ignition will be because of the ignition in spark plug. So spark plug and rest of the things are common, the piston, connecting rod, crankshaft, all these things. So this is what the constructional difference between a 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine. The constructional difference between 2 and 4-stroke is having valve actuating mechanism, and valve is controlled by a cam arrangement. But here in case of 2-stroke engine, the opening and closing of ports are controlled by the movement of piston. So instead of valves we are having ports. Now I am coming to the working of the 2-stroke petrol engine. So one by one, if we can observe this particular diagram. Here we are seeing that the piston is at BDC position. Piston is at BDC position. Okay. So, first the piston will start moving upward. Piston will start moving upward. So, when the piston will start moving upward, what will happen? Here we can see the inlet port is closed, transfer port is slightly open. So, for taking the fresh air fuel mixture, it is necessary to open the inlet port. So, for that the piston will move from BDC to TDC. As piston is moving from BDC to TDC, here we can see that the inlet port is getting open and the fresh air fuel mixture, fresh air and petrol mixture is coming in, and where it is coming in? It is not directly going towards the cylinder, it is coming in the crankcase. It is coming in the crankcase. So, this is what happening. So, piston moves from BDC to TDC, air fuel mixture is drawn through inlet port, supply of petrol and air mixture is cut off in upward motion of piston. Okay, upward motion of piston. Further, what will happen? If the air fuel mixture is in the crankcase, because of the rotation of crankcase and the transfer port, this fuel will start coming towards the transfer port. If earlier there is some air fuel mixture which has transferred through transfer port, that will be compressed. So, we are observing two things here. First, the air and fuel mixture is coming in the crankcase and moving towards the transfer port, and the second thing, the compression of air fuel mixture which is already in the cylinder, it will be compressed. So, further piston will compress the petrol air mixture in the cylinder. So, these two things are happening simultaneously here. Okay. At the end of the stroke, when the compression is complete, obviously the spark will be ignited. So, spark will be ignited. So, when the spark is ignited, obviously the combustion or the burning of air fuel mixture will take place and large amount of energy will be released. So, that I will be covering in the next slide. Now, the air fuel mixture is completely compressed here. A spark has been ignited, the burning of fuel starts, large amount of energy will be released. It will push the piston from TDC to BDC. So, piston will start moving from TDC to BDC. Here in this condition, what we are observing? We are observing that air fuel mixture is coming through inlet port, and now the crankcase and the bottom side of the piston is completely filled with the air and fuel up to transfer port. So, when this is coming downward, when the piston is coming downward, the crankcase is rotating in this direction and it will make the tendency of air fuel mixture to move towards the transfer port. Here the exhaust port is closed here. Okay. Now, the expansion of air fuel mixture will take place. Piston will move from TDC to BDC. So, from TDC to BDC, when it is moving, first the exhaust port will get open. Yes, it must be, because the byproducts of combustion must go out, and simultaneously slightly the transfer port will get open. So, first exhaust port will be opened, secondly the transfer port will get open. Okay. So, by this we are observing that exhaust gases are going out and simultaneously the fresh air fuel mixture is also going in. So, this is what written over here. Piston moves from TDC to BDC. Okay. Piston performs the power stroke. Yes, one power stroke is available. Transfer port opens, letting the fresh charge into the cylinder, but before opening of transfer port, the exhaust port will be open. That we can see from the position of exhaust port and transfer port. Transfer port is slightly below the exhaust port. Obviously, it must be, because exhaust gases first go out, then the fresh air fuel mixture, but the velocity is of exhaust gases are quite high. So, there is always a tendency that fresh air fuel mixture will go out with the exhaust gases. So, that is why we can observe the design of the piston. The piston is clubbed with a deflector. This is what the deflector. Okay. So, what it is performing? It is performing that the air fuel mixture, fresh air fuel mixture which is coming from the transfer port, it strikes the deflector and having a tendency to go towards the cylinder head. But still there are the chances that some of the fuel will go out with exhaust gases, and this is what known as scavenging. This is what known as scavenging. So, when the transfer port and exhaust port are getting opened simultaneously, due to this the burnt gases are expelled out of the cylinder, and this process is called scavenging. Some part of the air fuel is going out. So, this is what the working of two-stroke petrol engine. Here we are observing there are two movements of piston from BDC to TDC and TDC to BDC. In these two stroke movement we are getting one power cycle. So, that is why it is named as this, that is why it is named as two-stroke engine. So, the difference we can see, the difference, instead of valves we are having ports. The piston is designed slightly differently, it is having deflector in two-stroke engine. So, this is the difference between two-stroke and four-stroke engine. Now, I would like to summarize the entire discussion related to IC engine in comparison. So, first I am comparing the SI and CI engine. SI means spark ignition engine, CI means compression ignition engine, and in spark ignition engine the working fluid is petrol. Okay. In CI engine the working fluid is diesel, and whenever I am talking about the petrol engine, then obviously the mixing of air and fuel takes place in carburetor. So, it draws air fuel mixture into the cylinder during suction stroke. So, obviously from the carburetor the air fuel mixture, air petrol mixture will be sucked into the cylinder, whereas in case of CI engine the air will only be sucked. Second, petrol engine operates with a low pressure and temperature, because the compression ratio of petrol engine is less as compared to the diesel engine. So, its working pressure is low, whereas the diesel engine is having high pressure. Pressure range is also given. So, 6 to 12 bar, and the temperature range from 250 to 300. Here the pressure range is 35 to 40 bar, and the temperature ranges from 600 to 700 degree centigrade. Then it is fitted with carburetor. Obviously, the mixing of fuel with the air is taking place in the carburetor. So, it is fitted with the carburetor. A spark plug also, yes, for the ignition purpose of the air fuel mixture the spark plug is there. Whereas, in case of diesel engine or CI engine, it is fitted with fuel injection pump. It is fuel injection pump and injectors, and for the combustion or the ignition of fuel, the ignition temperature or the compression of the air is sufficient enough to burn the diesel. The burning of fuel takes place at constant volume. In my last video I told that the heat addition in Otto cycle takes place at constant volume. Okay. So, this is what the concept behind the Otto cycle, but whereas in the case of CI engine or diesel engine, the burning or the heat addition takes place at constant pressure. Ignition of air fuel mixture takes place by the electric spark produced by a spark plug. Ignition of air fuel takes place by a injection of fuel into the hot compressed air. Okay. So, then the petrol engines are quality governed engines. The speed of petrol engines are controlled by varying quantity of air fuel mixture. Yes, diesel engines are quantity governed engines. The speed of diesel engines are controlled by varying quality of air fuel mixture. Okay. Here the quantity governed, here is the quality governed. Okay. Petrol engines are widely used in automobiles and aeroplanes. Diesel engines are widely used in heavy vehicles, buses, trucks, general comparison. Otto cycle, the working cycle for SI engine or petrol engine is Otto cycle. Okay. More efficient for a given compression ratio. For a given compression ratio, the Otto cycle is more efficient, but in general diesel engines are more efficient because their compression ratios are quite high. But if I am comparing both Otto and diesel cycle for same compression ratio, then Otto cycle is more efficient. Okay. Operating speed is more, speed range is given, here also. So, operating speed for petrol engine is more, starting is easy, cranking easy, starting is difficult. Initial cost and maintenance are less in petrol engines. General observation, more initial cost and construction. Why initial cost is more and construction is heavy? Because of the high compression ratio. When we have to deal with the more pressure, then obviously the design must be robust and solid enough to sustain that pressure. Produces less noise, compression ratio is less, so the noise will be less. Because of the high compression ratio, the tendency of knocking and vibrations will be more. Okay. Weight per unit power is less, weight per unit power is more. So, these are the comparison between the SI and CI engine, petrol or diesel engine, Otto and diesel cycle. So, these are the general comparison. Okay. There are some more. Thermal efficiency is less, compression ratio is 5 to 8, thermal efficiency is high, as I told, because the thermal efficiency of any engine is the function of compression ratio. So, compression ratio if it is high, then obviously the thermal efficiency will be high. So, generally for the diesel engine the compression ratio is quite high. Specific fuel consumption is more, specific fuel consumption is less. The fuel used already told, okay, costlier than diesel, volatile and fire hazard. The fuel used in diesel, it is cheaper than petrol, it is less volatile and fire hazard is less. So, these are the points where we can compare the SI and CI engine. Sometimes the question related to direct comparison between a 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine. So, one difference that we can easily get, 2 strokes. So, 1 power stroke we are getting from 2 movements of piston from BDC to TDC and TDC to BDC. So, this is what the first difference, 1 power stroke in 1 revolution of the crankshaft. Okay. Why we are saying like? Because the crankshaft is rotating by 180 degree when piston covers 1 stroke length. So, on that basis it is said like this, 1 power stroke in 2 revolutions of the crankshaft. Okay. So, here the 4 strokes are happening, piston is moving 4 times from BDC to TDC, TDC to BDC and so on. So, obviously the 720 degree revolution of crank will be there, and in that 720 degree revolution we will be getting 1 power stroke, but here in each 360 degree revolution of crankshaft we are getting 1 power stroke. Power developed for the same engine speed theoretically twice as the number of rotations are more. So, obviously power P equal to 2 pi NT upon 60. So, if N is more, then obviously the power will be more. Here it will be lesser. Simple design and lighter in construction for the same power. For the same power, complicated design and heavier in construction, because of the cam and valve actuating mechanism, it is having more complicated design. Uniform torque is obtained, hence a lighter flywheel can be used. Non-uniform torque on the crankshaft, heavier flywheel is required. Design of port is simpler, hence initial cost is less. Obviously, when the ports are cut only on the cylinder and their controlling, their opening and closing is controlled by the movement of pistons. So, no separate mechanism is required. So, design is simple and initial cost is also less. Here the design is slightly complicated, that is why it is having more cost. Mechanical efficiency is high. Mechanical efficiency is related to the number of rotations or the power available. So, number of rotations are more here. So, the mechanical efficiency is more. Okay. Mechanical efficiency is less. So, that is why the power is less. No moving parts such as cam, follower, rocker. Okay. Here, but we are having a valve actuating mechanism which is governed by cam. So, we are having some more parts. Starting is easy, 2-stroke engine. Starting is not so easy. These engines are generally air cooled. Air cooled, we can see, yeah, we are not requiring any other arrangement. Air cooled through the fins. Fins you can see, I am coming to that diagram. Okay, fins. These are the fins. These are the fins. Extended surface. Extended surface. Circumferentially on the cylinder. So, these are the extended surface through which we are increasing the area. So, these are sufficient. These things we can see in our bike engine. We are getting some metal plates we are observing. So, these are the fins through which we are increasing the air cooling of the engine. Now, I am coming. So, the engines are generally air cooled. Here sometimes water cooled engines are required in 4-stroke engine. Consumption of lubricating oil is more. Yes, it can be when the movement of the piston is more, it is twice. Okay. When the number of rotations of crank is more, then the requirement of lubrication is more. Here the requirement of lubrication is less, more wear and tear, less wear and tear. Some of the fresh air fuel mixture may escape with the exhaust gases. Yes, there is a tendency, because the exhaust port as well as the transfer port are getting opened simultaneously. Although we are putting some deflector to prevent this, but there is always a tendency to fresh air fuel mixture is going out with the exhaust gases. So, this is the problem. Okay. So, fuel consumption is more. Here the valves are completely controlled by a cam switch. So, the chances of escaping out of fresh air fuel with exhaust gas is less. So, hence fuel consumption is less. So, when the fuel consumption comes in picture, then obviously the thermal efficiency of the system comes in picture. So, thermal efficiency is less because of the slight possibility of wastage. Here the thermal efficiency is more. More noise, noise is less, exhaust gases are released in separate stroke. Okay. Scavenging is poor, since exhaust port is open only for a short time. Scavenging is better since there is a separate exhaust stroke. Okay. Poor scavenging leads to mixing of fresh charge with exhaust gases, results in poor performance. Performance wise, thermal performance wise, it is much better. Used for light vehicles such as bikes, scooters, mopeds, these are coming with the 2-stroke engine, but nowadays we are, because of the fuel crisis, now the 4-stroke engines are more in use because the fuel economy matters. So, but it can be used with this. Okay. These are generally used with heavy vehicles, buses, trucks, lorries, cars generally be used, but nowadays 2-wheelers are also on the 4-stroke cycle basis. So, this is all I can say for the IC engine. So, theoretically all the concepts, what IC engine is, what are the different components, different parts, the working of 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine, petrol and diesel, and the summary in form of comparison. That is what I tried to cover in my 3 videos related to IC engine. I hope the theoretical concepts are almost covered here and will be helpful to you also. So, thank you for watching the video. Thank you very much.